nation attends to the peculiarities of its border issues with solutions that are nuanced, that are smart, affordable, and result-oriented.
Towards resolving communal clashes, government advocates new strategies to tackle boundary matters.
Did we die here? What is this? He's carrying a court. They told him that the case will continue.
Drama in court as former PDP spokesman collapsed at his resumed trial. And Water Resources Ministry set to turn around current trends in the water and sanitation sector. Good evening, a warm welcome to NTA Network News. I am Sheung Olagunju. Reading with me in the course of the news tonight is Elizabeth Omoruyi in Lagos. Chinenye Woye is in Enugu, while Mariam Adura joins us from Jos. Thank you for joining us. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has asked the National Boundary Commission to adopt new strategies aimed at resolving communal crises and other matters relating to boundary. This was while declaring open a retreat for managers and other stakeholders of Nigeria's internal and external boundaries holding in Abuja. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
With the presence here of stakeholders from the executive and legislative arms of the federal government, representatives of state governments, security agencies, among others, the retreat would provide viable and enduring solutions to Nigerians' border problems, so says Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. Nigeria has over 4,000 kilometers of external borders, including its Atlantic coastline, in addition to the thousands of kilometers of borders that the 36 states and the FCT share with one another. What happens along these borders, the Vice President notes, greatly affect what happens within them.
Whether it is smuggling or oil bunkering, illegal oil bunkering, or the impact of undocumented immigration on the security situation, especially in the north-central states of Nigeria, or the communal clashes arising from boundary disputes, it is clear that all of these issues are issues that clearly concern the management of our borders and how well we're able to do so.
He says the federal government fully recognizes the significance of the National Boundary Commission's role, and as part of efforts to strengthen the commission and reposition it to more effectively fulfill its responsibilities, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of 6 distinguished Nigerians as members of the board.
Every nation attends to the peculiarities of its border issues with solutions that are nuanced, that are smart, affordable, and result-oriented. We simply cannot afford to do the things that we've been doing for so many years and expect different results. It is time to re-engineer our border, all of our border policies, and I believe that this is the paramount responsibility of this commission.
We have observed during our oversight that one of the challenges of the National Boundary Commission has been poor funding, and you are taking necessary steps that will guarantee improved funding in the Commission.
Recently, the House Committee on Special Duties conducted a public hearing on a bill for an act to establish the National Boundary Task Force for the protection of persons and prevention of communal clashes and other criminal acts and other related matters. The bill centered on the need to be proactive and not reactive to border issues.
The retreat is therefore born out of the need to inform, to exchange ideas, and to interact on all issues affecting our borders.
Nigeria shares land boundaries with the Republic of Benin, Niger, Chad, and Cameroon, and maritime boundaries with the Republic of Benin, Ghana, Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea, and Sao Tome and Principe. In Abuja, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
To the judiciary now, which has been urged to move with the rapidly changing phase of technology to deliver justice to Nigerians. Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onoge, made the call at a maiden symposium on Section 84 of the Evidence Act for top judicial officers and jurists in the country. Judiciary correspondent Femi Okeowo reports.
Section 84 of the Evidence Act is the section that opens the door for the admissibility of electronic evidence in Nigerian courts of law. Before the passage of the Evidence Act in 2011, evidence generated via internet or through any electronic means were inadmissible as part of our judicial process. But even now, the interpretation of that section depends largely on the court's understanding of the dynamics of technology. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, however, says this divergence will soon give way for a uniform and legal interpretation, which is why a symposium is being organized for top jurists, prosecutors, and investigators in the country.
Notwithstanding the laudable provision of the law, therefore, extreme circumspection and acute vigilance must be key words for courts in this area of evidence. I therefore urge you all not to be in a haste to deliver rulings or judgments when issues pertaining to non-compliance of Section 84 are raised.
The National Judicial Institute thinks that a deeper understanding of electronically generated evidence will help justice dispensation in Nigeria.
The law cannot be and is not ignorant of modern business methods and must not shut its eyes to the mysteries of the computer.
It is believed that this symposium will provide an avenue to brainstorm.
Section 84 of the Evidence Act is one of the newest provisions of that act, and with modernization, a large chunk of evidence will come through that means, which is why the National Judicial Institute thinks it fit to train judges and jurists in that area. From the National Judicial Institute, Femi Okewu, NTA News.
Staying with the law, the trial of the former National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Ulisamitu, resumed today, Monday, at the Federal High Court in Abuja amid melodrama. While walking to the dock, Mitu collapsed, forcing the presiding judge, Justice Okon Abang, to stand down the trial for medical experts to attend to him. Ali Otuko reports.
Metu, who has appealed to the court 3 times to allow him travel abroad for medical treatment, has made dramatic court appearances on a stretcher and a wheelchair since February this year. Today, when the case was called, Metu made his way to the dock but suddenly collapsed.
In the court, they told him that the case will continue.
And the hearing resumed after the incident. Defense counsel Emeka Etiaba applied to withdraw from the case on grounds that he will not represent someone that is critically ill. Delivering ruling on the application, Justice Abang refused to grant the application and also threatened to strike out the case if the prosecution does not know what to do.
The Administration of Criminal Justice Act is clear. A defendant can only stand trial while he's before the court. Now, if the medical personnel had said or given an opinion to the Honorable Court that he needed to be evacuated to the hospital, and I'm asked to comment, what would I say naturally? Going by the law, I would have to say I'm not opposed.
Justice Abang had previously dismissed Metu's applications, asking for release of his international passport to enable him travel abroad for medical treatment. In Abuja, Ali Utukur, NTA News.
Now, the need for the international community to synergize for the promotion of world peace without prejudice to one's religious belief has again been emphasized. This was the submission of speakers at the 6th Annual Conference on Law and Religion in Africa, ongoing in Abuja. Chukunonso Nwabueze reports.
Law and religion records review have been in existence since the coming of mankind. However, to strike a balance within the ambit of the law between one's religious belief and another's unbelief has been one of the huge challenges facing humanity. In a bid to finding a lasting solution aimed at tackling this challenge, these experts in law and religious issues are meeting in Abuja at the instance of African Consortium for Law and Religion Studies, ACLAS.
We need to understand religion. We need to understand the world, the reality. Those who do not understand religion, and especially abuse of religion, cannot understand what is going on in the world.
We have to take seriously the issue of freedom of religion in all its ramifications, especially in our days when freedom is very much of high concern.
In addition to prosecuting offenders under the relevant laws, I'm of the view that these belief systems should be addressed head-on by the mainstream of our society.
Human flourishing and reform in Islam, gender marriage rights, as well as crisis and corruption in Africa dominated the sessions.
All the discussions and ideas we get from this conference are going to be very helpful.
The conference, which has as its theme law, religion, and human flourishing, drew participants from within and outside the African continent and is expected to end on Tuesday in Abuja. Chukunonsoma Bueza, NTN News.
To politics now, a former council chairman, Ojukaye Flag Amakre, has been elected as the new chairman of the All Progressives Congress in Rivers State. This followed the successful conduct of the state congress held in Port Harcourt, during which 37 state working committee members of the party were also elected through a formation. Kingsley Amajiri reports.
APC delegates drawn from the 23 local government areas of the state gathered at Elekahia Town Hall for the Congress. The 33 new state working committee members were elected unopposed, with some of the immediate past executive members returned. The new state chairman of APC, Ojukaye Flag Amakre, who thanked stakeholders for the confidence reposed in him, pledged to work towards the emergence of APC-led government.
I want to assure you that everything is making sure that come 2019, APC will be in victor.
Some of the delegates described the election of Amakre as a bold statement by the party, saying he has the capacity to transform the fortunes of APC in Rivers State.
You can see that it's a party of change. We are poised to win. You know, the formula is to win the next elections and remain the conscience of Rivers State.
We are ready for competition. We are ready for election.
2019 won't be business as usual.
The former publicity secretary, Chris Finebone, and the former secretary of the party, Emeka Bekee, retained their positions in the reconstituted APC State Working Committee in Port Harcourt. Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyema, has debunked the allegation that he came to the venue of the APC State Congress in Enugu with thugs who disrupted the exercise. Addressing journalists in Enugu, the minister maintained that he stands on the path of peace and justice, where every eligible delegate is given a chance to exercise his franchise. Susan Ize has details of the briefing.
Mr. Onyema, who frowned at the drama playing out in Enugu State APC, stated that he did not arrive the venue with thugs as alleged, but with party delegates who were allegedly being excluded from participating in the Congress. He maintained that since there were other aspirants vying for the chairmanship and other positions in the state, the incumbent state chairman can therefore not be said to be unopposed, alleging complicity on the part of the National Congress Committee. The minister said he only insisted that justice be done.
The incumbents and the supporters of the incumbent, with respect to the chairmanship, decided to walk out. They were not asked to leave. They were not intimidated into leaving. There was no violence because I made sure that law enforcement agencies were out in full force.
Mr. Onyema and a party leader in the state also reacted to the alleged damage of the party secretariat gate. The minister described the incident as an attack on democracy in Enugu. Susan Eze, NTA News.
You're on to the network news. Time to pause for some messages. The news continues after this time out. Stay with us.
Super MTN gives 2,000% bonus for reactivating your MTN SIM. That's right. If you haven't used your MTN SIM for 45 days or more, recharge now and get 2,000% bonus. That's right, 2,000% bonus for your first recharge of every month.
Songs of Nigeria Festival, Sunnyfest 2018. Theme, Harnessing the Beauty of Our Diversity, holds on Thursday, May 24th, 2018 at the International Conference Center, Abuja. Time 5 p.m. prompt. Under the distinguished chairmanship of Her Excellency, Lady Victoria Agui Ironsi, wife of the first military head of state of Nigeria. Keynote speaker and special guest of honor, Mr. Boss Mustafa, Secretary to the Government of the Federation. Guest of honor, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, Honorable Minister of Information and Culture. Highlights of the festival shall be the presentation of Nigeria Diversity Champion Award to deserving states, institutions, and individuals whose sacrificial service to the fatherland has promoted our unity in diversity, and the formal unveiling of Nigerian People's Diversity Center. For participation, call 090-850-10,000. Announcer, Barrister Chuks Akamadu.
The Smartphone Network.
The Honorable Minister, Federal Minister of Labor and Employment, Senator Dr. Chris Nwabweze Ngige, cordially invites the general public to the 17th National Productivity Day celebration and conferment of National Productivity Order of Merit Award. Theme, Productivity for Economic Recovery and Sustainable Growth. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Guest speaker, Mrs. Ibukun Awoshika, Chairman, Board of Directors, First Bank of Nigeria Limited. Date, Tuesday, 22nd May 2018. Time, 10 a.m. Venue, NAF Conference Center and Suites, Kado, Abuja. Dr. Kazim Akor, Director General, National Productivity Center. Announcer. The head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Mrs. Winifred Ekanem Oyoita, invites directorate-level officers in the ministries and extra-ministerial departments to a service-wide sensitization workshop on 2017 to 2020 Federal Civil Service Strategy and Implementation Plan, FCSSIP, for directorate-level officers in the ministries and extra-ministerial departments. The objective of the workshop is to inform, get the buy-in, and secure the commitment of top management staff service-wide towards the successful implementation of the strategy. Date, Wednesday, 23rd May 2018. Time, 7 a.m. prompt. Venue, International Conference Center, Abuja. Ndubuisi Osuji, Permanent Secretary, Service Policies and Strategies Office. Announcer.
Do you know that the Nigerian police now operates in the best international practices of policing? Do you know that the Nigerian police has been restructured to be more accountable and responsive to all your security challenges? Now, what the police demand from you is your trust, your collaborative efforts by providing necessary information about criminals and their activities in your neighborhood. Be vigilant to achieve our creed as we promise. We shall police the country based on international core values of policing with integrity. We shall ensure that rule of law prevails in our actions and activities. We shall respect diversity, display courage, show compassion, and demonstrate professionalism. We shall operate within the principle of democratic policing. We shall shun corruption, and we shall make Nigeria safer and secured under the leadership of IGP Ibrahim Otum Idris.
Let the wind of change blowing across the country chase away crime for the benefit of our society. Yes, the Nigerian police says this change must come with peace and tranquility.
This message was brought to you by the Public Relations Department of the Nigerian Police Force.
Thank you for staying with us on the Network News as we continue with politics. Now, former governor of Edo State, Adams Oshiomhole, says the All Progressives Congress, APC, remains a viable political party that can deliver the kind of leadership required to move Nigeria forward. Oshiomhole stated this when he visited APC chieftain and former governor of Abia State, Orji Uzor Kalu, in Abuja. Salihu Abdullahi reports.
The two former governors are meeting to strategize on how to make the intention of Adams Oshiomhole to contest for the national chairmanship of the APC a reality. They expressed common views that they will jointly play a positive role in building APC as a governing party to keep on providing purposeful leadership beyond 2019.
But it is enough for us to have wedded it to a party and provide the kind of leadership that Nigerians expected from a political party that is based on the principle of social democracy, which is why we consciously choose the name progressive.
Anybody who supports the president, I support. Anybody who will not support the president, I will not support. So I have you in high esteem, and I'm sure you will lead our party well if elected.
In another development, a member of the All Progressive Congress, Abubakar Kaubaraje, led some former members of the New People's Democratic Party to the National Secretariat of the APC.
The progress reports that we've just started, and we started on a good note.
The meeting between the party executives and the delegation was behind closed doors. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
To infrastructure issues now, the federal government has intensified efforts on the provision of standard road infrastructure all over the country to improve social and economic development of its citizens. This time, serious assessment is being done to ensure contractors work within stipulated guidelines. Usman Aliyu was in the team monitoring road development projects in the southeast.
For travelers, it's frustrating journey on a bad road. That has been the experience of those plying Enugu-Port Harcourt road, which at some sections the road failed completely. But a beginning to the end of the suffering is the new experience. Total reconstruction of the roads in most parts of the southeast awarded by the Buhari administration are being carried out. Bridges, towers and flyover are other infrastructure being developed. To ensure standards and timely execution of the project, Minister of Power, Works and Housing conducts assessment of these projects.
Yes, in the past, contractors have been owed money. Now, virtually no arrears of payment are due to contractors for work being done on our roads. Contractors who have received payment, who haven't yet moved to site, will have me to deal with, because we will start terminating their contract.
For the leaders in these states, they say it's a new opening for social and economic development.
We are therefore highly encouraged by the steps being taken by the federal government to address the problems.
But there's no road of the past administration that is still standing in this state now, because they were all done with asphalt. May not be their fault.
These projects, notwithstanding, are happening despite huge debts amounting to over 3 trillion naira for projects and services by previous administration, as explained by Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola. Usman Aliyu, NTA News.
And Minister of Water Resources, Suleiman Adamu, says the declaration of a state of emergency in the water and sanitation sector will change the narrative surrounding the sector and set the stage for a reversal of current trends under the National Wash Action Plan. The minister was speaking at the workshop on state water utility turnaround and governance reform in Abuja. Musbaud Dan Wahab reports.
The water supply, sanitation and hygiene wash sector is now under state of emergency as recommended by the National Wash Action Plan. That has been sanctioned by the Federal Executive Council as the Buhari administration demonstrates the readiness to bring about turnaround in the sector. This is a cheering news that Water Resources Minister has brought to policymakers here, including state commissioners for water resources across the Federation. Suleiman Adamu says the statistics on the nation's wash sector has been unfavorable and consequently unacceptable to Nigeria's government.
All that federal government does is to try to lead by example, and that's what we have done. Having declared the state of emergency, we are now pushing the states to do the same.
Now, in search of a turnaround, government at all levels must be on the same page of commitments while multiplying investment level, strengthening and monitoring the performance of the utility agencies for an improved service delivery.
This document that has been approved by the Federal State Council needs to be disseminated to the state. And at the same time, we need to build the capacity of the states to be able to implement the action plan.
The Syria workshop continues with another session with non-government organizations and development partners for their inputs and collaboration of the implementation of a national WASH action plan. In Abuja, Musbal and Wahab, NT News.
In security, the Nigerian army has taken delivery of another batch of weapons as the country continues counterinsurgency operation in the northeast. The chairman reception committee on the delivery of weapons, Brigadier General Olufemi Akinjobi, conducted defense correspondence round the international wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, where the weapons were delivered. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the cache of weapons from the Czech Republic is expected to boost the fighting power of the Nigerian army in combating the various internal security challenges, particularly the Boko Haram terrorist group. This is the second delivery after the first cargo of ammunition and spare parts for the armored personnel carrier vehicles, which were received earlier. The National Directorate of Employment, NDE, has commenced the distribution of starter packs to the enrollees of the cosmetology programs flagged off early this year. The Director General of the NDE, Nasser Mohammed Ladan Argungu, in an exclusive interview with Omenka Amarachuku, explained that more than 15,000 cartons of the starter packs are yet to be distributed.
The National Directorate of Employment, as part of its mandate in January 2018, organized training programs on cosmetology for unemployed youths across the country. DG NDE explained the program as one designed to reduce unemployment in the country.
And not just the young men that we are training across. In northeastern part of this country, like in Borno, Yobe, Adamawa, Bauchi, and Taraba, we gave them extra allocation of 11,300 to train the IDPs, which we have recently concluded. We are also looking at the possibility of also giving them starter packs so that they can be on their own.
He put the number of persons trained in various trades under the Self-Reliant program at more than 296,000 across the country in the last 1 month. In Abuja, Umenka Amarachuku, NTA News.
And still on empowerment, 27 displaced persons have been trained and empowered by the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons in Nyanya, Gwandara and Karu in Nasarawa State. Federal Commissioner Sadia Umar Farouk flagged off the distribution of starter packs to the concerned persons. John Yaku has the details.
The distribution of the starter packs is coming 6 months after the training of the 27 persons of concern by the Commission in various skills such as catering and pastry making, cosmetology and beauty therapy.
I'm grateful to be in Nigeria because this is my first time to experience something like this.
It is to help myself to be able to meet up in my personal needs, and
pray to Almighty that will give you more strength.
The Federal Commissioner, National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons, Sadia Umar Farouk, says this is part of the national action to reintegrate displaced persons into society.
I've been here for over 2 years, and now we have taught them different skills, and we've given them empowerment, the starter packs. We're also giving them accommodation for a period of 1 year. We're going to pay for their rent, after which, with this training, I'm sure they'll be able to fend for themselves.
We appreciate and encourage this because it's a pathway towards a durable solution for refugees.
Nasarawa State government and other non-governmental organizations are other stakeholders in the empowerment program. In Abuja, John Yaku, NTA News.
Good news for the motoring public as the Ikorodu-Shagamu Road receives federal government attention. Elizabeth will now tell us about this and more from our Lagos Network Center. Hello, Elizabeth.
It's nice to see you, Cheryl, and a warm welcome to Lagos. The federal government is set to mobilize contractors ahead of rehabilitation works on the Ikorodu-Shagamu roads. Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, led a high-powered federal government delegation to the flag-off of the rehabilitation work on the axis. Lynn Leneke reports.
Shagamu Road is one of the colonial roads inherited by the federal government at independence. It is the major route for trucks and tankers evacuating petroleum products from NNPC Depot Mosimi and the Lafarge Cement Factory at Shagamu to Lagos and other parts of the country. The 30.1-kilometer road has for long been neglected, and motorists have only had tales of woes to tell.
If the rain fall now, we cannot move.
Every day, our motor always go for mechanic work.
Like when we happened for this last week, they tell the guy said that they go garage. As I reach, the next thing they come out the cab from there. They come out gone to the guy. They collect his bike.
The decision of the federal government to fully rehabilitate the road is set to change all that. Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, flagged off the project.
The strategic importance of this road is the support and access it provides to the agrarian communities in Ogun and Lagos State.
So the torture being faced by commuters on this road is about to come to an end.
I still want to appeal to our people to bear with the government. There will be inconveniences.
The project is expected to be completed within 36 months. When completed, it will serve as an alternative route to the ever-busy Lagos-Shagamu section of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. In Lagos, Lynn Leneke, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. More reports ahead when we return. Stay with us.
Familia is now all yours. Hygienic and is very soft. Natural white with pure cellulose. Affordable, smart choice for the family. Familia.
Familia is hygienic, skin-friendly, and approved by Dermatest Germany. Smells very nice. First in Nigeria. Try now.
All TVs say picture quality, but never mention the most important color, black. It uncovers the hidden details of nature, brings out the richness in all colors, and reveals life. With self-lighting pixels, only OLED TVs make perfect black, and perfect black creates perfect color. LG OLED TV.
From our wonderful family, meet Patty for celebrating the high points of life with friends. And then there's me, Jolly Jolly, bringing nourishment to every gathering. Packed with healthy nutrition, nourishing vitamins, power of protein, strength of calcium, revitalizing energy, Hollandia yogurt is bursting with goodness inside and out. Hollandia yogurt, it's all good.
Hey, Anu. Dad. Look, I got something for you.
A football chassis?
Hey, Adu, come watch a game with your uncle and I. Please, come.
I'm okay, thanks.
The kind of person that you asked me to be. My brother say he love me, I love him too. I tell him I will do anything for you. But it's strange.
There's just so many goals that scored.
You scored 2. I look up like this, say, who are you?
So, Daddy, you showed those blues Pepe yesterday, right?
You sure did.
Those 3 points are sure for us today.
Remind me how.
Game's about to start. Quickly.
Your perfect family is under threat by germs. Infectious diseases are now the world's biggest killer of adults and children. Every day, 16,000 children under the ages of 5 and thousands of adults die from infectious diseases. These infectious diseases are caused by germs. They are everywhere. An average human being comes in contact with over 1 million germs daily. In unclean water, dirty surfaces, in the toilet, on cuts and wounds, on your clothes. Germs can cause deadly diseases like typhoid, diarrhea, flu, and cough. To protect your family from germs, use the power of Dettol's 1 Cap Full for surface cleaning in your bathing water, in your laundry water, for first aid, to protect your family from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol Sure. Endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association.
Take a good look at our world today and you'll discover something interesting. More and more drivers are choosing mobile motor oils. You see, as engine performance becomes more important than ever, the vehicle owners are coming to expect more from their engine oils. They're demanding more mileage on a single oil change. They're demanding longer-lasting engines and smoother rides. They're demanding the best. And with Mobile, that's what they get. We raised the bar for motor oils with the Mobile Super 1000. And with the Mobile One, we raised it even higher. And because it's made using the most advanced engineering processes, Mobile motor oils leave your engine super clean, increase its durability, and keep it so well protected, it never stops running. So success for you depends on continuous movement. You need engine oil, engineered for that purpose. Mobile. Performance at its best.
Make it mobile.
Thanks for staying with us on the Network News. Time now to talk business. Nigeria's economic growth slowed in the first quarter of 2018, though experts say there's no cause for alarm. Details with Vivian Idepefo.
Good evening and welcome to Business News. Latest data from the National Bureau of Statistics indicate that Nigeria's economic growth slowed in the first quarter of 2018 for the first time since the country pulled out of recession last year, as the non-oil sector struggled. The economy grew by 1.95% in the first quarter, lifted by the oil sector. There was a slight dip from 2.11% year-on-year in the final quarter of 2017. The agricultural sector grew by 3.0% and industry 6.86%. The GDP data comes a day before the Central Bank of Nigeria announces its decision on interest rates, with recent economic data showing that there is scope for a rate cut as inflation dropped to a more than 2-year low in April to 12.48%. And now to the capital market, where equities closed the first trading day of the week on a negative note. The Nigerian Stock Exchange All-Share Index depreciated by 0.12% to close at 40,425.07 basis points. Investors traded 271 million equities worth 2 billion naira in 4,052 deals. Equities market capitalization closed at 14 trillion naira. And that's business news at this time. The rest of the bulletin continues in just a moment.
The British Standards Institution, BSI, has presented 3 certificates to the Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation, NDIC, for its conformity with standards in service delivery. Patricia Esamiluba reports that the NDIC is the first agency to achieve this feat among public corporations in Nigeria.
This presentation ceremony, though short but historic, as it is the first time a public agency in Nigeria is receiving such certification of this magnitude.
On behalf of the British High Commission, I would like to say a very big congratulations to the MD, Alhaji Umaru Ibrahim, and his team for a job well done. This is indeed a great achievement.
This Business Continuity Management System ISO certification for NDIC. And I would like to congratulate the MD and his team for a fantastic job. And pledge to the NDA that the FSS 2020 will work with you towards achieving your being the best insurer.
We want to confirm that indeed, with the set standards, you are prepared to serve the citizens who come to you for service.
The NDIC's recognition by British Standards Institution focuses on business continuity, information and security management, as well as service management systems. Managing Director of NDIC, Umaru Ibrahim, says the certification will further boost the confidence of their customers.
The aim is to enhance our capacity to deliver services more efficiently and more effectively, and this will mean continuous improvement.
The Managing Director says the corporation will strive hard to achieve its vision of being one of the best deposit insurer in the world by 2020. In Abuja, Patricia A. Samiluba, NTA News.
The industrialization drive of the Cross River State government will soon open a window of opportunities for Nigeria to achieve transformation and economic growth. In view of this, Abia State Governor Okezie Ikpeazu has appealed to the federal government to lend its support to the actualization of the 274-kilometer superhighway and deep-sea shore ports projects embarked upon by the Cross River State government. Udrak Etim has the details.
Speaking at the Cross River State Executive Council Chamber, Calabar, Governor Ikpeazu maintained that projects established by Governor Ben Ayade's administration are of huge economic benefits, not only to Cross River State, but the entire country. He described Governor Ayade as a visionary leader who is opening vistas of economic growth through his numerous developmental projects.
We think that it's time for us to tap the full potential of the seaport in Cross River is about now. If we all support this administration to bring that project to fruition.
Governor Ben Ayade, who thanked his Abia State counterpart for his support, hinted that Cross River State still feels the pains of the loss of the Bakassi Peninsula and 76 oil wells, which he said has exposed its people to poverty, and called on the federal government to give support for the realization of his vision.
The people of Cross River State may not be able to take up arms because it's not in our character, it's not in our lineage, it's not in our heritage. But we are committed to a civil demonstration of pain and agony. We cannot continue this long.
Governor Ikpeazu was later conducted round the rice seeds and seedlings factory. In Calabar, Udwak Etam, NTA News.
Let's now join Mariam in Jos for more reports. Hi Mariam, it's over to you.
Hi, good evening. You're welcome to Jos. Governor Simon Lalong has directed the composition of state fertilizer distribution committees at the state and ward levels to ensure effective and efficient distribution and sale of fertilizer to targeted peasant farmers in the state. This was at the flag-off and sale of the fertilizer for the 2018 farming season held at the Dengi Mini Stadium in Kanam local government area. Paul Dama takes it from here.
A total of 19,400 metric tons of fertilizer has been made available by government, comprising urea and NPK this year, to be sold to farmers at 5,500 naira per bag, while organic fertilizer will be sold at 4,500 naira for a 50-kilogram bag. To ensure that the commodity is accessible to farmers at the stipulated price, Governor Simon Lalong directed that the State Fertilizer Distribution Committee be set up.
All farmers must endeavor to jealously guide and protect what has been acquired and method put in place for the distribution of these essential agricultural inputs. You will do well to report any sharp practices usually perpetrated by middlemen who buy the fertilizer at subsidized rate only to sell them in the open market at exorbitant rates.
Commissioner for Agriculture, Dr. Hosea Finangwai, urged cotton farmers to take advantage of the federal government's arrangement with a Chinese anchor to purchase cotton produced under the central bank's anchor borrower scheme. The governor also presented bags of fertilizer to some groups, including the physically challenged farmers. From Dengi in Kanam local government area, Paul Dama, NTA News.
To partner and network with key players towards evolving the herder-farmer clashes in Plateau State, the Rural Development Counselors for Christian Churches in Africa, RUCON, organized a workshop tagged do no harm towards a peaceful resolution of the clashes. Ashezi Gopep has details.
Plateau State, like other parts of Nigeria, had in the recent past grappled with farmer-herder clashes, drawing attention of both national and international communities. To establish and strengthen conflict resolution and reconciliation, peace building has become paramount towards finding a lasting solution.
We will come up with an action plan. Now, that action plan will have the resolutions of this meeting, which we will take to the local government, government agencies, relevant agencies.
We know that whatever it is, we can develop the solutions, and these approaches that we're using, multidisciplinary.
Participants commended the initiative, considering the security challenges in the state and nation.
We will also get the draft and then also take it to the Transitional Council meeting for implementation.
There are many solutions that we have proffered, and if implementation will be there, then we are okay with it.
With the theme, engaging state and non-state actors in promoting conflict sensitivity, the workshop had participants drawn from security agencies, development workers, human rights agencies, religious and traditional heads, as well as the media. In Jos, Ashezi Gopep, NTA News.
That's a wrap from here. Back to you, Sheon, for what's left of the news.
Thank you, Miriam. And we head straight to Enugu to join Chineye, who brings us the stories trending in that zone. Hello, Chineye.
Thank you, Sheon, and welcome to Enugu. Thank you, Sheon. Has expressed satisfaction with the pace of work at the ongoing Regional Link Road project connecting the 8 communities in Udi local government area of Enugu State. Ngozi Silva Technical reports that he was speaking while inspecting the projects with other members of the National Assembly from the zone.
The project sites visited include Umurumbe, Okpatu, Okofia, Edani, Okana, Gori erosion sites, all in Udi Council areas of the state. Most of the project sites visited have reached 100% completion, except 1 kilometer road project at the Umurumbe, where earthwork is currently ongoing. Senator Ekweremadu reiterated his commitment to open up rural communities to ensure that people of his constituency are linked to other communities in the state. The lawmaker pointed out that he monitors the projects to ensure that the contractors do not derail and that it meets specified standards.
I want to thank the federal government for providing necessary funds to enable us to carry out this project. And each time we liaise with our communities to identify the projects that are dear to them.
Some of the indigents expressed their joy.
In short, this place we are standing used to be gully. When I say gully, I mean if I step into it 2 times, you won't even see me. So this is a reclaimed place.
The event attracted PDP party stalwarts of the National Assembly from the zone. From Enugu, Ngozi Silva Technical, NTA News.
Inmates of Nigerian prisons under the Imo State Command will soon be granted the prerogative of mercy of the state governor, Rochas Okorocha, as a measure to decongest them. Comptroller of Prisons, Imo State Command, Mr. Chris Okoye, made this known to newsmen during a tour of prison formations in Owerri, Imo State. Beatrice Anyam reports.
148 inmates presently has 2,200 inmates. This congestion, however, yearns for serious attention. The Controller of Prisons, Imo State Command, said the Imo State government has already constituted an advisory committee on prerogative of mercy as a way of reducing the overcrowded prisons.
In no distant time, you'll see a lot of inmates being released.
The inmates, who are mostly awaiting trials, are not left to while away their time. Rather, they are engaged in various reformation programs such as carpentry, shoemaking, creative art, tailoring, electrical work, and a cottage industry where soap, bleach, and other products are made.
For me as a person, and for most of us that have also passed through this place, some of them will reach them to help us get materials, to enable.
Similarly, part of the reformation program of the Nigerian prisons is engaging inmates in various farming activities. This we saw as we visited the prison farm center Elele in Kwere, River State. Inmates were taught how to process palm oil, cultivate crops. In Owerri, Beatrice Anyam, NTN News.
And that's our contribution from Enugu. It's back to Sheun in Abuja. Good evening.
Chineye, many thanks. Now, traditional rulers across the country have been tasked to effectively synergize towards meaningful contributions to national growth and development. This was the charge from Oba Abdul Rashid Akambi, the Oluwo of Iwo Land, who paid a royal visit to His Royal Majesty Apollos Chu, the Emir Okori Eleme in River State. Diababari Siedoma Nakwe reports.
On arrival at the palace of His Royal Majesty Apollos Chu, the Oluwo of Iwo Land, Oba Abdul Rashid Akambi, was greeted with a large crowd of Okori people amidst cultural displays. The intertribal visit seeks to meet minds across ethnic lives towards peace and development of the nation as well as their domains and communities. Oba Abdul Rashid Akambi commended King Apollos Chu for being a man with a large heart for his people. He noted that the traditional institution is important to the people at the grassroots, hence the need for a common front in spite of religious or traditional differences.
There are many kings. There are many kings. But you can become a leader out of many kings. Keep on supporting your king.
His Royal Majesty Apollos Chu appreciated the royal visit to his palace. He observed that the impact of the local government as host to many companies is not adequately felt.
We shall continue to partner and support each other where necessary to see that we bring in a new life into traditional institution. We try to delete all hatred from the traditional institution so we can't find it at all. And try to plant love and unity.
Cultural group displayed to the admiration of the Oba in the company of his wife. In Okori community in Eleme local government area of River State, Dibabari Siedemaweke, NTA News.
Nigeria has emerged first in the just concluded international Quran recitation competition held in Jordan. 22-year-old Sadiq Alabi, a graduate of industrial chemistry from the Kwara State University, who hails from Ifelodun local government area of Kwara State, beat participants from 32 countries, including Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Morocco, Kuwait and others, to emerge overall best. The trophy winner has since returned to the country with a cash prize of 5,091 dinar, that's equivalent of 2.8 million naira. This is the second time Nigeria is taking the first position in a similar competition consecutively. For happenings in the world of sports, after this timeout, please stay with us.
Consolidating the fight against corruption, the journey and gains so far. That is the thrust on NTA Tuesday Live this week. It promises to be informative and educative. Don't miss it.
Yum, this is great.
I love Mommy's stew. Truly a good taste.
Seeing my family smile is truly my pleasure. I want to make everyone happier. More and more and more. Ajinomoto. It brings out the taste of the ingredients and makes your dish taste great.
Finally.
Sweet! Unbelievable!
Mom, what did you do?
No way to know this taste unless you try it. Umami brings deeper taste, deeper love.
Ajinomoto.
A shave others will notice, but your wallet won't. Gillette's Best Value 3-bladed razor gives you 7 clean shaves. Upgrade to the new Gillette Pressed Barber Ultra Grip 3. Gillette, the best a man can get.
My teacher said germs attack and make tiny holes in the teeth.
and they are more active at night.
So you have to remember to brush your teeth at night. But Dad forgets to brush his teeth at night.
Ah, he'll get cavities.
Pepsodent Cavity Fighter with double action and protection power helps prevent cavities during the day and at night works hard to repair tiny holes before becoming cavities. Pepsodent Cavity Fighter with double action for daily day and night cavity protection.
Dettol team is visiting schools to teach children how to protect themselves from diseases. Do you know how we get illnesses like diarrhea, cough, and cold? No. They are spread through germs which are everywhere. You collect germs that cause diseases. You pick up germs from any surface, like when you don't wash your hands after going to the toilet, while playing. And then you can get sick because of germs. That's why you need to fight germs to stay healthy by washing your hands and taking your bath with Dettol soap to protect from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Wash, wash, wash your hands. What you have to do is bath, bath, bath yourself. Dettol soap every day. Wash, wash, wash your hands.
In sports, the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria (BON), in partnership with Kwesi Sports, will bring all matches involving the Super Eagles and other African teams at the World Cup to the homes of all Nigerians through the NTA and AIT. This was disclosed at a press briefing on Monday in Lagos. Adiola Omokivie has the details.
Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria (BON) has assured Nigerians of her commitment to bringing the World Cup matches involving the Super Eagles and other African teams to ignite the passion of football, which brings unity by partnering with Kwesi Sports.
With Kwesi's offering, it means that we can ensure that all Nigerians have the opportunity to watch the matches and cheer our great Super Eagles to victory.
Kwesi Sports is delighted to work with the best broadcast outfits in the country to showcase all matches, including Nigeria, ex-internationals, and commentaries in local dialects.
Even if you don't have the access to go to a viewing center or have a decoder, with this partnership, you can be home, enjoy it with your family, your loved ones, the matches that matter to you.
The partnership between BON and Kwesi Sports with the NTA and AIT will ensure Nigerians enjoy pre-match, halftime, and post-match analysis.
Some of the obligations that come with the rights, some of the duties that come with the rights must be seen to be carried out to the fullest.
The Director General of the NTA, Malam Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, who was represented, said NTA will ensure top quality signals throughout the World Cup in all states and community stations.
Certainly, NTA will transmit all the 32 matches. And then the road to Russia 2018, we are going to take part in that fully.
44 television stations and scores of radio stations will broadcast the World Cup as an international cultural movement. Meanwhile, all BON stations were also advised not to breach the FIFA rules and regulations as stiffer penalties await defaulters. In Lagos, Adeyola Omokivi, NTA News.
Damanzi Marcus has more on Sports Update.
Super Falcons coach Thomas Denby is fortifying his team for the Women AFCON qualifier against Gambia by inviting 10 foreign-based players to join those already campaigning in Abuja. Among the players expected in camp on May 29 is defender Onome Ebi of Hainan Shuxiang of China and midfielder Rita Chikwelu, the Falcons captain who plies a trade in Sweden. Francisca Odega of Washington Spirit, USA, alongside two other strikers from China and France, complete the list. The first leg will be decided in Gambia on June 5, with the 8-time African women champions hosting the reverse fixture on the 11th of June at the Udokaha Jacob Eswene Stadium, Calabar. Meanwhile, Ayakorama, Okpoma, Opunembe and Ekpetiama community football clubs have qualified to the quarterfinals of the Restoration Football Competition in Yenogwa, sponsored by the Bayelsa State government. Also in the quarterfinals are Torubene, Otuasega, Amasoma community football clubs. In the round of 16 results, Azikoro lost to Ekpetiama 1-2, while Nembe City lost by a lone goal to Opunembe. Australia has warned it will deport more than 50 athletes staying in the country illegally after the Gold Coast Commonwealth Games. Melissa Golightly, an official from the